As a doctor and a wellness coach, I have spent years navigating the maze of self-help books to discover the essential ingredients for a truly fulfilling life. In this video, I am going to share the insights that I gained after reading 42 different self-help books, basically so you don't have to read all 42 yourself. We are going to separate the hype from the genuine game changers, so keep watching to discover the surprising truths that can truly propel you toward success and happiness. Now, if you've watched me here on YouTube before, then welcome back. But if you are new to my channel, then welcome. I'm Dr. Kim Foster and I'm an MD turned coach and wellness expert. Now let's dive straight in. Okay, so I have separated all of the books that I have read so far into 4 different categories, and I'm going to be breaking down key insights from each category. So the 4 categories here are mindset and personal development, productivity and habits, money and success, and manifestation. And I'm not going to go through every single book out of the 42 that I've read. I'm just going to share with you the key things that I learned from my 4 or 5 favorite books in each category. So let's get started with category 1, which is mindset and personal development. I'm starting here because mindset is the foundation of everything we do. The way that we think influences our behavior, our approach to challenges, and the way that we interact with others. And the books that I read in this section are game changers if you're looking to truly understand what it takes to grow personally and professionally. So let's start with Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. This book is based on the simple but powerful belief that we have the ability to solve any problem or challenge that we face if we adopt the mindset that everything is figureoutable. And I think that this is such a great starting point. Marie Forleo teaches us that the moment that we believe something can be figured out, we begin to transform our approach to life's hurdles. It's all about shifting from a passive to an active stance. Instead of wondering if a problem can be solved, we start figuring out how to solve it. I have used this in my own life so many times. When I was trying to figure out how to deal with my burnout in my career in medicine, I didn't spend much time wallowing in this, oh, this is so difficult, but look at the stats on doctors and burnout. We all have this, so I guess this is just normal and I have to accept it. No, I asked myself what was possible. What are some solutions here? What are some changes that I could make? Here's something really practical that you can try. The next time that you are faced with a difficult decision or seemingly insurmountable problem, repeat to yourself, this is figureoutable. And then just jot down 3 steps that you can take to start solving the problem. It's about making it manageable and proving to yourself step by step that you can handle it. Building on this empowering concept, our next book delves even deeper into creativity and how that intertwines with personal development. Let's talk about Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. This book really changed my life because, first of all, Elizabeth Gilbert is such a wonderful writer and she is just so real with everything that she says and writes, and it's just impossible to not love her. But in Big Magic in particular, she explores how to tackle what we love and face what we fear, all in the service of living a more creative, full life. And you don't just have to be in a traditionally creative career to benefit from what she is teaching here, like writing or music, because we all face fears and self-doubt and limiting beliefs no matter what passion we're pursuing. And Elizabeth Gilbert is just so amazing with helping us to find ways to overcome those barriers. She teaches that one of the keys is curiosity. So embracing curiosity every day is the secret sauce and letting it guide you rather than being led by fear, which can stifle your creativity and joy. She also talks about giving yourself permission to create in the form of a permission slip. So people often believe that they need external validation or permission to live a creative life, but Elizabeth Gilbert encourages us to empower ourselves and embrace our own creativity without shame or guilt. And I see this all the time with my coaching clients and students, just this feeling of waiting for somebody else to give you permission to go after what you want, some external rubber stamp. And you don't have to live like that. You can give yourself permission and choose yourself and claim it. Okay, this leads us to our next transformative book, You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, which is all about conquering self-doubt and building a powerhouse of confidence. This book is truly funny. Jen Sincero shares some hilarious stories, but in there is some seriously sage advice. She emphasizes the importance of understanding our own self-worth and the power of positive thinking. And she challenges us to change our self-sabotaging beliefs and behaviors and urges us to just stop undervaluing ourselves and start living boldly. We hold ourselves back all the time. I know I did this in different areas of my life, believing that something just wasn't meant for me or that something bad would happen if I tried something new. And I really had no idea how many negative beliefs I had. So here is one powerful exercise that you can try from the book. Write down the negative beliefs that you have about yourself and then rewrite each one as a positive affirmation. For example, change "I'm not good at this" to "I'm learning and growing every day," or even quite simply, "I'm not good at this yet." Okay, so building on our theme of personal empowerment, our final book in this section is The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. This book explores how we often hinder our own progress and how we can transcend those limitations to achieve our true potential. This is a book that I recommend to all of my students inside the Wellness Coach Academy because it is such a key concept to understand. Hendricks introduces the concept of upper limit problems, which are essentially self-imposed ceilings that we create based on our deep-seated fears and false beliefs. He talks about how we sabotage ourselves when we are getting close to achieving significant breakthroughs because of these limits. And once your eyes are open to this, you will never see things the same way again. Things that you thought were external barriers are actually originating from your own inner discomfort because you've reached an upper limit for yourself. And so we can find all kinds of ways to sabotage ourselves. Imagine that you are about to reach a personal or professional goal, but suddenly everything seems to go wrong. According to Hendricks, this isn't just bad luck, but rather a manifestation of your upper limit problems. Recognizing these moments as self-sabotage is really the first step towards overcoming them. Okay, let's move on to the next category, which is productivity and habits. This next section delves into some of the most effective strategies for optimizing your day and making the most of every hour. Whether you are looking to overhaul your daily routine or just make some minor tweaks, these books offer indispensable advice. To start, let's talk about Getting Things Done by David Allen. I read this book shortly after I had my second child, and life was really spiraling out of control. And I had previously been a pretty organized person, but I needed a total revamp and a new way of doing things because life was chaos. It was recommended to me by another doctor who I was working with at a clinic, and I'm just so glad that he did recommend it because it was life-changing. So David Allen introduces the concept of capturing everything that has your attention, literally everything from big projects to small tasks and ideas into an external system rather than trying to keep it all in your head. This method reduces stress and just frees your mind to focus on the task at hand. He says your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. So his system involves writing everything down, from the fact that you need to repaint the front porch to a presentation that you need to prepare for to a dentist appointment that needs to be booked, and just organizing all of these pieces in a way that makes them manageable and actionable rather than overwhelming. So the place to start is by setting up an inbox system where you can dump just every task or idea or project that comes to mind. And this is something that I started doing and still do to this day. You regularly process your inbox and organize these into lists of actionable items and review these lists weekly to adjust your priorities and plan out your week effectively. Next up is Essentialism by Greg McKeown. The core idea in this book is about doing less but better. It's about making the wisest possible investment of your time and energy in order to operate at our highest point of contribution toward the things that really matter. This book gave me the permission that I needed to cut out anything that wasn't directly related to my core values and my most important goals. Focus is everything, and being able to be super clear on your most important goal and then basically just editing everything out of your day that does not align with your goal is just so key. Okay, so that brings us to Atomic Habits by James Clear, which it seems like everybody has read this book. If you haven't read it yet, you really should, because in Atomic Habits, he explains how tiny changes can lead to remarkable results. It's all about the compound effect of habits that are small and atomic in size, but significant in impact. In fact, he says that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them over time. And I totally believe this. It's really how we accomplish any big goal, is just one step at a time, just focusing on the micro habit that will keep us moving forward, and eventually we will get there. It's a deceptively simple concept that many of us just quite simply overlook. You want to start by identifying a small positive habit that you want to develop and then scale it down to a 2-minute version of the habit. For instance, if you want to read more, start with a goal of reading just 1 page every night and then let it take root and grow from there. All right, now let's pivot to a topic that affects us all, money. In this next section, I'm going to talk about 3 transformative books that share secrets and strategies for financial success. And the first one is You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I know that I have already talked about Jen's first book in the first category, but honestly, I think that this book is even better. Again, it's really funny and a very honest read, but she's also tackling a topic that is quite taboo and a lot of us have a bunch of hangups about, which is, of course, money and building wealth. She talks about the fact that a major barrier to making money is how we perceive our ability to acquire it. She takes the stance that transforming our mindset about money is the very first step to attracting more of it. And I am completely here for this. I think that our mindset about money is at the root of all our money problems, and that this is truly where most of us need to start. Consider how often we say things like, I can't afford that. Jen Sincero suggests flipping this mindset by saying, how can I afford that? This shifts your perspective from limitations to possibility, which is very similar to the everything is figure-outable philosophy. When we say, I can't afford that, it's just so disempowering and it's like end of story. But when you ask yourself a good question like, how could I afford that? What would it take for me to afford that? You've got a much better chance of changing something rather than just accepting your lot in life. Okay, the next book that I read and loved in the money category is Get Rich, Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffield Thomas. So this book is all about releasing your money blocks and embracing a lifestyle of abundance. Denise combines personal stories with actionable strategies to help you overcome past hangups and attract wealth. The core message is about identifying and releasing what she refers to as money blocks. She describes these as subconscious beliefs about money that hold us back from achieving our wealth potential. So when I read this book, I could not believe how many subconscious beliefs I had about money. She talks about how often the villain in the fairy tale or the movie is the one with all the money. What message does that give us all about what it means to be wealthy? And how many unhelpful and even toxic messages did you receive in childhood about money? Have you heard platitudes like, I'd rather be happy than rich? Which automatically implies that it's impossible to be both, that rich people are automatically unhappy. And so if that's what you internalize, then why would you actually want to choose the rich path instead of the happy path, right? So you just kind of count yourself out and don't worry about trying to strive for more financial abundance in your life. Okay, so the final money book that I want to mention is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is considered one of the most influential financial success books of all time. In it, Napoleon Hill explores the power of personal beliefs and the role that they play in achieving financial success. His philosophy centers around the idea that if you can think it, you can achieve it. He emphasizes the importance of setting clear goals and the persistence required to chase them. One of the book's central tenets is the formation of a clear and definite financial goal, and then visualizing this goal daily as if you have already achieved it. As Napoleon Hill writes, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Now let's shift our focus to a truly fascinating and often debated topic, manifestation. Whether you are a skeptic or a believer, the idea that we can bring our thoughts into reality is very compelling and has been explored in many books. I have read a lot of books on this topic, and in fact, if you're interested into a deep dive into my analysis and breakdown of the science behind manifesting, then you might want to watch the video that I'm just going to link here on the screen. But for now, let's talk about the 3 books that I found the most helpful when it came to understanding and and embracing the concept of manifestation. So just to be clear, manifestation isn't just about wishing for something and waiting for it to magically appear. It's all about aligning your thoughts and your emotions and your actions to make your desires a reality. So The Secret by Rhonda Byrne is perhaps one of the most well-known books on the law of attraction, and really brought this whole topic into public consciousness when it was published in 2006. And it covers the idea that by focusing on positive or negative thoughts, you can bring positive or negative experiences into your life. Rhonda Byrne suggests that everything you want can come to fruition if you change how you think and feel about your life. The law of attraction is about attracting into your life whatever you give your energy and focus and attention. Okay, so book 2, one of the most well-known experts in modern spirituality is Gabrielle Bernstein. And in her book, The Universe Has Your Back, she teaches how to transform fear into faith in order to live a divinely guided life. She talks about shifting from fear to love as the essential path to freeing ourselves from limitations and aligning more closely with the universe's intentions for us. Consider a time when the fear of failure paralyzed you from taking action. Gabby Bernstein would argue that this fear disconnects us from our true power and potential. By choosing love and trust in the universe, we open ourselves to experiencing life more fully and manifesting our true desires. And this is an idea that I absolutely love and try to incorporate into my life. A more recent book about manifestation is one that I read this past summer, and it's called Manifest by the author Roxy Nafouzi. What I liked about this book was that she provided a step-by-step guide to achieving your dreams and manifesting. Whereas a lot of books on this subject take a very philosophical and esoteric approach, Roxy Nafouzi breaks it down into practical steps that you can easily follow. The core of her message is self-awareness and emotional intelligence as tools for unlocking your potential to manifest. She emphasizes that self-love and understanding your true desires are really crucial to effectively manifesting anything. If you've ever felt stuck or unsure about your direction in life, Roxy suggests starting with a deep personal inventory to clarify your desires and align your actions with your ultimate goals. And I agree. I think that this is a great place to start. Write down your top 5 desires without censoring yourself. And next to each one, note what feelings you believe achieving these desires will bring you. This exercise can help to ensure that your goals truly resonate with your innermost needs. Okay, so those are all of the books that I wanted to mention in this video today. Obviously, there are loads more that we could have dived into, but I hope that I have shared a few juicy nuggets from each of the books that we covered. I'd love to know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, I think that you are going to love the video that I uploaded recently about my own journey with manifesting, including my breakdown of the science and the psychology behind it. I'll link it on the screen and I will see you over there. First of all, Elizabeth the I read this book shortly after I had my first child, and I was, wait, did I have after my first child or second child? Second child. Okay. Good mom. If you haven't read it yet, you really should, because reasons.